Hello children, let's start the third chapter from your Beehive book, The Little Girl. The title of the story refers to the main character and that we will come across, the little girl named Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between the children and their parents, and the writer wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although, when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel their parents love them because their parents are strict and many actions of the parents seems unjustified. But as children grows up, they realize that all the acts done by their parents were beneficial for them and the parents are concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies on the heart full of love for the children. And this bond of love between parents and their children has been highlighted through this story. So let's start the story. To the little girl, he was a figure of fear and avoided. So, who is the figure of feared here? Kezia's father. So, here refers to Kezia's father and the little girl is Kezia. So, the opening line of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia has for her father. And as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. Every morning before going to work, he came into the room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye, father. So every morning before going to work, Kezia father would visit her room, and in her room he gave her a casual kiss, and in reply Kezia would say goodbye, father. So this action of Kezia's father shows this love for Kezia. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Now, carriages like horse carts were means to conveyance used in olden times. So here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for his father. The writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home and the sound became fainter and fainter, that means that the sound reduced, Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel relaxed because she feared her father and she was afraid to him. So she was revealed when he left home. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. So, what happened in the evening? When Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice, and this loud voice again made her afraid of him. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. So as Kezia father returned home, he would start ordering all different things. He would order that tea be served to him in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper. He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there outside the house, and he would ask her to get him his sleeper also. Kezia mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. Now, Kezia mother would call out to her and ask her to remove her father's boot. In order to make her obey, she would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall and push open the room door. So again we see Kezia fear of her father. That is why she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Why unwillingly? Because she did not want to face her father. She feared him. By that time she had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in the way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa and wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles, and now the way he looked at her terrified her, as she was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Kezia was do her work just, and she was slow in her motion, and so her father could tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And so then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. Don't know, father. And Kezia replied that she didn't know. What she didn't know? Why